Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal, Wednesday, June 11th. Okay, so the energy of late is impacted by the full moon, full strawberry moon in Sagittarius that literally just passed earlier, late at night or early in the morning, depending on how it is that you interpret time. And that while it is passing us, that energy peaked about 3 days prior and will continue for the next 3 days. So there's an intensity there that is wanting us to stand out. Sagittarian energy is fire energy that says, see me, I see the world, I see all of the big picture views, very macro thinking. It's a desire to stand up for yourself, and it wants you to not follow the crowd. Don't follow the herd. Go out on your own and be your authentic self and live your authentic truth. And while moons, as you know, new moons are when we're manifesting and actually planting seeds to draw things in. Full moons are when we are releasing and purging. So we're releasing and purging in the energy of the desire to have an expanse that we don't feel, space, freedom, creativity, the barriers that hide us from achieving ways out to achieve said time off, downtime, creativity. It's the structures that we have built up within ourselves and in our societies that kind of shame us into behaviors that don't serve our highest purpose and kind of keep us strangers to ourselves. And this energy is asking for that reconnect, and it's asking very strongly. It's pushing. So stop second guessing yourself. What is your intuition telling you? Is it saying something? It's saying something real. It's saying something in your gut. You can feel it. It's very visceral. You can't hide from your own bullshit anymore. And that self-awareness is right in your face. And it's happening to everyone. So you're also experiencing people experiencing this, for some of them, for the very first time. For a lot of us, this is like the 8th or 9th round, and it's just getting more and more oniony. Let's just make it a little more interesting that this full strawberry moon in Sagittarius was opposed Jupiter. So, and that is square the nodes. This is going to bring through an energy of possessiveness, a feeling of kind of getting fixated on things, especially if it's feeding you in a way, if it's a dopamine hit, if it's giving you some sense of change in your physical nervous system. This is very much tied to feeling fried and burnt out. That energy is pretty big. And the desire to numb, to use substances or overindulge almost as not like as a treat. It's more like, I can't help myself, but this is the only thing that I can do to make myself feel a little bit better, and it doesn't do anything for you anymore. That sort of what is happening vibe is pretty strong, and it's difficult to reconcile with when you can't top yourself off and fill your cup. And you're running on fumes. You don't have much to go on. So of course it's going to just add to the overall funk of things. On the world stage, we're seeing all of this happening. We're seeing people reacting, especially in a way that is connected to the voice and speaking up for yourself and saying what you will stand for and what you won't, and saying what matters and what doesn't, and saying who gets to decide those things. It's stepping into your sovereignty, and that is the scary thing. Because many of us have lived in protected environments, and maybe we're realizing that for the first time. What do you do with that voice? What do you do with that privilege? How do you shape what comes next in this story that you are 100% creating? What reality do you want? What are you willing to let go of and say no to, and make a distinctive turn towards a different path? That's what's up. And it's heavy, and it's emotional, and it's funky. At times it's hilarious, and it's very freeing, but it's scary as shit. I'm right in it with you. But you're not alone. And I think that that is the key, is understanding the experience of others in order to know yourself deeper and better. And through that awareness, we are changed. Let's jump into the cards. All right. So, one for tarot this week. feeling it very strongly. Man, coming right at me with some really strong, gnarly cards. Not gnarly in a bad way, like gnarly in like a awesome way. This is some big stuff, and it makes me really happy to see. There's a lot of work that you guys have been doing, and holding things down for the collective is difficult. I don't care what anybody says. All right, so 1. If you chose 1, here's your card. The World. Pay attention to the number. Where's my finger? There it is. 21. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Connection to the Divine Master. Journey completion. Dedicated achievement. Lesson synthesis. That's all what's up here with the World card. And isn't it interesting? You've been so consumed with said world, dabbling a little bit too much in some doom scrolling. Don't blame you. Don't hate you. It's life, but it's something that's sucking at you. It's something that's taken from you. I'm seeing a sand castle that's kind of collapsed, and the waves are coming and coming and kind of eroding and eroding and eroding. It doesn't seem like it's a lot, but over time it really eats at you, and it eats at the foundation of what you're trying to build up here, which is a more resilient nervous system to handle the shit that you have come here to transmute. What is transmutation, you ask? Well, transmutation is where you are taking something and changing it into something else. You are taking energy and you are changing it into light codes. You are taking plasma from the sun and you are encoding it and translating it and infusing it within your DNA in order to give you upgrades, in order to give you clarity, in order to move you to the next level. And all of this is hard on the body. You gotta pay attention to you first. For as much as you want to change the world, you are the world. You are your own ecosystem. And you have all that you need. Her arms are bursting. She's got just freaking stars in the afro. Like, can you be more set up? And also looking real hot and snatched down here, girl. Okay, that's cool. You've come to a place where you're almost full circle here. Literally like the world as it resolves. It resolves. I meant to say revolves. But resolves is it. You've reached a point. You know what you need to do next, and you know that you've made a decision already. You just haven't let all of you know. And a lot of the experiences that you're experiencing right now, could have chosen a better word there. I digress. Some of this is for the very first time, but it feels like something you've done already. That deja vu always kind of trips you up. You're looking for a signier sign. You're looking for a more clear, for someone to just boom in your ear. Yes, you are right. 100%. Keep on keeping on. I'm 100% behind you. You're never going to get that clarity in that way when you're ignoring the messages that are coming through already for you in your own beautiful playbook that you just need to sit still and get quiet and figure out and ask questions. Ask me. Let's work together. There's lots of ways that you can unlock what it is that you do and how you're designed. Everyone's different. Everyone has gifts. And you just may understand things a little bit differently than others. That's cool. And it's your talent. And it's what makes you unique. And it's likely why you're freaking here. Look at you, you sexy thing. What you've done is completed now. And you're ready to move on. And that's really cool. And you learned. And you grew. And you survived it. You surthrived it. Well, that's the hope anyway. Surthrive seems kind of difficult right now. Am I right? All right, moving on to 2. If you chose 2, the Hangman. What is so interesting here? Let's take a look at the numbers again. This is a 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Ascended Masters, balance, and new beginnings. 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. Some of you, I believe, chose both cards. I find it really interesting because it's really hammering home what happened here in 1. It's all about awareness. If you take a look at the figure here, this figure is hanging from a tree or a rope. And as he's hanging, he is completely unbothered. He is fettered. He's kind of bound in a way. This is a period of suspension. There will be slowdowns. There will be stalls. What is it that you can do? Absolutely nothing but surrender to the situation at hand and allow yourself to feel through it. Sit with it. Work with it. Wrestle with the fucking thing. Deal with it. And I know that's harsh, but a lot of this is beyond your control. What else can you do but just chill? Looking like some kind of crazy ostrich. Like, look at this guy. Some would say that this period of suspension is designed for you to have space to get to the next level in an awareness sense, in a spiritual sense. I feel that too. Things are coming online. Similar to 1, there is a connection that you're starting to make, where you're either getting real deja vu, you're having some wackadoo dreams, or you're getting some of you are getting lights, especially 2. People who chose 2, so group 2, lights in the corners of the eyes when you're closed, waking and like kind of between 2, and some of you it's like 5, 2 and 5, unable to go back to sleep, or when you do fall back to sleep, you go into a really big dream that is one that you've had before recurring. This is a time warp situation where you are kind of trying on this timeline. How you feel about it? You're kind of putting your feet in your body, just like you're pulling on some sort of, freaking onesie, and seeing how it feels. How does this timeline feel? Surrender to what's happening and allow yourself to be creative in this process, because you can do some really cool stuff. Don't panic. See it for what it is. Find the freedom in the letting go. I am terrible at this, let me just say. This is not something I'm good at. Let go or be dragged. You be dragging me. That's how I am. This takes work. And it doesn't. And if you know, you know, in that statement. Put down your sword here on this one. Let yourself experience the lack of control. All you can control is your own reaction and your own awareness. And it's through this process and through this experience that you are literally upended. This change is necessary. And it's out of your control. The sooner you accept that, however you accept it, and there's lots of ways to accept things, the quicker it will get to a state of resolve, which is what I was talking about earlier. Resolve is also one of the main keys. All right, moving on to 3. If you chose 3, your card is the Wheel of Fortune. Shihat. Sagittarius. Moon. This is a 10. 10s are 1s. The number of I am. Manifestation. You have Saturn in Aries. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac. When we have this new beginnings, we cannot help but pay attention to the cycles of life, the cyclicalness. What's happening for you is a turning point for many of you in 3 in career and in places where you'd like to have more creativity or a different sort of role in what it is that you're doing. Like, for example, you may be an educator, but you're wanting to work with the public and do something that's more education based within a different kind of system. So it's almost like a realization that you're still interested in the thing that you're doing, but you see it now in a different way, and you see your abilities and your talent and your experience in a different way. And through that cycle, you are seeing the bigger picture, which is also what's happening here with the with Sagittarius full moon that just passed. This is all about divine timing and understanding that the cycles of life are there for a reason, and that you are divinely protected and guided. You need to stop kind of mastering yourself with how quickly things need to get done by putting constraints on things, or putting expectations on how things will resolve or resume. For some of you, it's resume. Something's been put on pause. And it's through letting go and allowing yourself to kind of flow with the energy and respond to people and situations in a way that isn't so, I want to say aggressive, but that's still too aggressive. That's not right. Assertive, less assertively. There's a lot of power in how you approach people. Your energy is very big, and at times your aura right now is very much expanded. And with that can come some difficulties with being able to feel your own energy and where you're at, and you can kind of overreach. You can kind of get too big without really intending to do so. And that's very much fire energy, very much connected to Sagittarius. But there's a lot of Pluto influence here too. So as you're moving from one cycle into another, understand that just because it feels familiar doesn't mean that it's the same thing. And you get to choose the level at which you repeat the cycle, because some of it is showing up just to say, do you want this again in a different form, with a different face, or a different person, or a different location, or a different building, but it's essentially just what you got out of, or an echo, or a reverberation of another mixed up sort of timeline where you experience these things. Question what's happening, look within yourself, and ask, why am I experiencing this again? If you need help with stuff like this, this is exactly what I do in session. So feel free to reach out. I would love to work with you. All right. So those are the messages this week. Would love to hear how they land for you. So please leave me some feedback. Would love to work with you. So please reach out at my website. You can also DM me, email me, all my socials and all that good stuff. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for posting. Know that I'm here for support, and I understand what we're all facing here, and I walk with you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. All right. Peace.